and welcome to week 4 of Increasing Self-Esteem. My name is Paula and I'll be guiding you through the Increasing Self-Esteem CBT course. This course has been adapted from our CBT Increasing Self-Esteem group, which we run in the South Glasgow Wellbeing service. This week we'll be looking at how we deal with and communicate in difficult situations. We will learn techniques to help us be more assertive, and we will develop a plan to put these into practice. When we are dealing with difficult situations, for example, conflict or difference of opinion with another person, we tend to act in one of the following ways: aggressive, passive, passive-aggressive, and assertive. Let's look at each one individually. We will look at the actions and consequences of each and how they might affect someone's self-esteem. Aggressive communication. If someone acts or communicates aggressively, their actions might be shouting, pointing, pushing, staring, or not listening to others. The consequences of these actions may be that they may often get their own way, but others can be wary of them and avoid them. They may not perceive themselves as aggressive and wonder why people avoid them and why their relationships could be prone to breaking down. This can lead to feelings of isolation and perpetuate the vicious cycle of low self-esteem. Passive communication. If someone acts or communicates passively, their actions might be saying yes when they really want to say no, letting others make decisions for them, never asking for what they want. The consequences of these actions may be that others may like them because they go along with everything and never disagree or cause conflict. However, others can take them for granted and not ask for their opinions or how they're feeling. This can lead to feeling resentment towards others, feeling being neglected, feeling that they're being walked all over, and feelings of low self-esteem. Passive-aggressive. If someone is passive-aggressive, their actions might be that they are not outwardly or openly aggressive. They don't openly say no or disagree with others. Instead, they may make faces, sigh heavily, roll their eyes, or complain to others. They might agree to do something because it's easier than refusing, but knowing they will never do it. The consequences of these actions may be that they feel that they are in control, but later on others find out their true feelings. This can lead to confusion and misunderstanding in relationships, breakdown in communication, and feelings of resentment. It may also mean that they are difficult to trust. Assertive communication. If someone is assertive, they can ask for what they want clearly and specifically. They listen to others' opinions, but do not get sidetracked and are able to put their point across clearly. The consequences are that they feel listened to. They respect their own feelings and needs, but also respect the feelings and needs of others. As a result, they feel confident and have good self-esteem. What is assertiveness? Assertiveness is expressing your own feelings, needs, rights, and opinions while maintaining respect for other people's feelings, needs, rights, and opinions. Nobody is born assertive. It is what we call a learned behavior. The Assertiveness Bill of Rights are the rights that we all have as human beings. Some of these rights are as follows. I have the right to respect myself for who I am and what I do. To recognize my own needs and wants as an individual, independent of others. To make it clear that others understand what I feel and think. For example, I feel very uncomfortable with that. To allow myself to make mistakes and realize it is normal to do this. To change my mind if and when I choose. To ask for thinking it over time if I'm not sure. To allow myself to enjoy my successes and to share this with others. To ask for what I want rather than waiting for someone to offer. To recognize that I am not responsible for the behavior of other adults. To respect others and their right to be assertive too. To say that I don't understand. To deal with others without being dependent on them for approval. Tools for assertion. We will now look at some techniques to help you to be more assertive. Asking for what you want assertively. This means being able to say what you want in a clear and specific manner. Firstly, state the event, then what your feelings are or were. Next, be clear on what you need to happen and the consequences for you if this does or doesn't happen. Let's look at an example where Susan is confronting Mary about an issue in relation to their friendship. Firstly, Susan describes the event and how it made her feel. Last week, when you told Mary that I had been having problems at work, I was annoyed and upset. She follows this by stating what she would like to happen. This was something I told you in confidence. I would like us to remain friends, but I need to know that I can trust you. Lastly, in a calm and controlled manner, she describes the consequences for their friendship. I would appreciate if you don't discuss my problems with others. This way, we can both continue to benefit from our friendship without worrying that our confidence would be betrayed. Saying no effectively. Be clear about your decision, otherwise everyone will be confused, including you. Be direct and honest so that you can make your point effectively. Avoid apologizing and giving elaborate reasons for saying no. You have a right to say no if you don't want to do things. Remember that it is better in the long run to be honest than breed resentment towards others and be annoyed with yourself. The broken record technique. This is a simple and highly effective technique that can work in almost any situation if someone is not listening to you. Repeat what it is you want to say over and over again. It can help to prepare this beforehand by writing it down and practicing. Keep returning to your prepared lines. Be clear and precise about what it is you need or want. Don't be put off by clever arguments or by what the other person says. Keep returning to your lines. An example might be returning faulty goods to a shop. Whatever the objection is, keep repeating, I am not happy with the replacement. I would like my money back, please. Improve your body language. Body language is important and can convey many things, such as aggression, passivity, or assertiveness. To show assertiveness, maintain good eye contact and look directly at the other person. Have a good upright posture and be relaxed in your body. Don't raise your voice or speak so quietly that no one can hear you. Try to keep your tone of voice at a steady level. Be friendly in your manner. Remember, being assertive is communicating your own needs while respecting the needs of the other person also. Dealing with criticism assertively. How we accept criticism is largely based on our experiences with it as a child. If we did not experience any criticism as a child, then when we first experience it as an adult, we may be devastated. If we received very constructive criticism as a child, we may cope well with it as an adult. If, however, we were criticized harshly, then we may see criticism as hurtful and rejecting. Being able to accept criticism without feeling a personal insult is an important aspect of building confidence and self-esteem. Criticism is usually delivered in one of two ways. Destructive criticism is given in a very harsh and abrupt manner. Constructive criticism is more helpful and non-threatening. We can respond to criticism in an assertive way or a non-assertive way. Non-assertive responses to criticism. The following responses to difficult situations are non-assertive responses and could contribute to the maintenance of low self-esteem. Withdraw and not respond to the criticism. Run away and avoid the situation, which may lead to feelings of powerlessness. Become defensive. seeing the criticism as a personal attack. Ignore it but feel hurt inside. This is more of a passive response. Make a joke and act silly, deflecting the attention away from how you feel. Shout at the person and respond aggressively. Or mull over it for days, ruminating over the problem. Assertive responses to destructive criticisms. There are more assertive ways to deal with destructive criticism. Stop. Don't react immediately. Ask, is this valid? Am I mind reading? Do I need to check things out by asking the person to explain what they mean? Respond to the words, the content of the criticism, not the tone. You may want to wait before responding. If you are angry or hurt and feel unable to speak immediately, take time to think things over and reply later in an assertive way. Responding to destructive criticism. The first method of responding to destructive criticism is to disagree with the person. Simply state that you disagree, remain calm, and ensure your tone of voice is even, keeping eye contact. For example, if the criticism was, "You always put that in the wrong place," you could reply, "No, I might have done it once or twice, but certainly not always." You can also respond to destructive criticism by inquiring about it. You might want more information to determine if the criticism is valid or not before you disagree or agree. For example, by asking, "What do you mean by that? In what way am I unreliable?" You can then decide if you agree or disagree. Diffusion. It can be helpful to diffuse a potentially difficult or aggressive situation by agreeing in part with the criticism. By staying calm, you can remove some of the criticism's destructive power. For example, if the criticism was, "You are not dependable. I thought you said you would come over and help me paint the room last week. I just can't rely on you to be there for me." Your response could be, "You are right, I could not make it last week to help you paint." By agreeing in part, it also helps to de-escalate an argument. Responding to constructive criticism. Accept the criticism. If the criticism is valid and has been presented to you in a helpful and non-threatening way, then accept this in a calm manner without seeing this as a personal attack. Do not apologize. Instead, accept that you are not perfect and can learn from mistakes, just like everyone else. Challenge negative thoughts that get in the way. Thank the person for their feedback. What we've covered today. We are almost coming to the end of session 4, so let's summarize what we've covered today. When faced with difficult situations, we can react by being passive, aggressive, or assertive. Assertiveness is expressing your own feelings, needs, rights, and opinions while maintaining respect for other people's feelings, needs, rights, and opinions. We have looked at the rules for assertion and tools to help us develop more assertive responses. We have also looked at responding to criticism in an assertive manner. Things to try. Look again at the rules of assertion and identify which rules you need to improve on. Choose one and plan to put this into practice over the next week. Use the tools to help you in this situation. Plan ahead by rehearsing what you have to say. Write this down if it helps. We hope you have found this session helpful. Thank you for taking part. Session 5 is next, in which we will cover identifying and acknowledging positive qualities.